She spent nearly 2 years learning everything: Python, SQL, building quality projects in Tableau, finishing certifications, but she still couldn't get hired. It wasn't until she got feedback from hiring managers, something that most career changers never consider, that changed everything. Her name is Kelly Adams, and her story might be yours because it also reminds me of the various stories I've heard of people breaking into analytics, but also those who got stuck and couldn't make it past where she was able to break through. And at the end of this video, I'll show you how I would have coached her differently to cut her journey in half. I'm Jeff, and I've been in healthcare analytics for over 13 years, and now I work as a business analyst consultant at a Fortune 5 company. I've sat on hiring panels, I've helped redesign resumes, and coach people into real data jobs. What I want to do today is just unpack Kelly's story, not just as a biography, but as a case study of what it looks like to break into data analytics and set expectations, and also to serve as a warning. Here, let's go over her general timeline. I'm also going to leave a link to her blog below and all of her different articles, so just check that out and support her as well. In March of 2021, this is when she found the Google Analytics course, and this is when she started to take it for months. And then in July of 2021 is when she finally made the leap and decided that she wanted to make the career change from being a paralegal into getting into data. This is when she started looking at YouTube, and then obviously found some of the biggest YouTubers inside our space, which would be Alex the Analyst. From here, she started to learn the skills, and then build a portfolio in October 2021. This is where she was able to finish the Google Capstone project, did the Maven Magic Challenge, and then also completed various online courses, online boot camps through Udemy. In September 2022, she starts building out quality projects to start adding more into her portfolio. First, it's a weightlifting analysis dashboard in Tableau, and this is important because she starts applying while the project is still in progress, which is one of the things that I recommend. She doesn't just stop there. Over the next few months, she starts to add more and more projects. So she has student performance, vehicle sales, AP exams, LinkedIn analysis. She's doing what most people on YouTube say to do: build, build, build. But the problem is she's building without direction, and then you start to clutter your portfolio if it isn't catered to the specific industry that you're applying for. You just start to look like everyone else, and everyone else is creating dashboards. Who are you going to select for a role in healthcare? The one that has more healthcare dashboards, or the one that has all of these broad projects? It's going to be the one that has more of the niche projects catered to that industry. So this is one of the pitfalls that I saw, is that none of her projects spoke to an industry, a stakeholder, or a specific business problem. And then by March of 2023, Kelly has been applying for about 4 months. She's been doing everything right, but still something is missing because she's not seeing much success. This is when she finally gets hiring manager feedbacks, and they tell her, your portfolio is great, your resume looks good, but you don't have hands-on experience. And that becomes the turning point. This is what I call the experience trap, and is one of the reasons why, if you've seen any of my previous videos on how to become a data analyst, I suggest the first step as get experience early. Either volunteer, freelance, or create data projects within your current role. Even if it's not data related, you can just ask to pitch these ideas and projects based on what you're learning currently. The reason why I recommend this is when you look at the open job market for entry-level data analysts, and this is something I did in my recent job market, is that there's going to be 1 to 3 years of experience required. This is going to be domain knowledge or direct data analytics experience, but you need to make up that experience somehow. And then what ends up happening is, in Kelly's case, something that is very familiar to a lot of people. They will go through all of the learning, creating the portfolio projects, and then updating their resume. But once they start getting into the job market and applying, they realize they need to get real world experience. But what is great is Kelly didn't let this hold her down. She stopped waiting, and in March, Kelly started volunteering as a data analyst for a nonprofit, and then she also got a part-time role. In April, she picked up a part-time role in content marketing, analyzing social media data to improve campaigns. Now we're actually getting experience. She's not just a job seeker anymore. She's solving real business problems and doing real tasks that she can put on her resume and additional projects. This is how you get unstuck and get past the obstacles that you're facing. Don't wait for someone to give you the experience. Go out and create it. And with the real world examples now behind her, Kelly focuses on rewriting her resume and reframed her paralegal background to highlight attention to detail, client communication, documentation, all critical for an analyst. She practiced her interviews, improved her interviewing skills with her network, and focused on her story and then owned her pivot. This is where confidence really becomes real, not just because you practice a star story, but because you start to live it. And when you walk in with proof, everything changes. And then after a few short months of June of 2023, she makes it to the final rounds for 2 different roles. And in late June, she gets the call, an offer to become a full-time data analyst at Golden Hearts Gaming. 2 years, dozen projects later, countless applications, and one decision to stop building and start proving made all the difference. Now, if Kelly were my student from day one, here's how I would have helped her to speed up her journey and make it faster. First, get experience early. Volunteer, freelance, build internal tools at your current job. Don't wait for the portfolio to be ready. Start with proof, pitch it to your current boss, get access to data, let them know that you're learning all of these skills, and if you can apply it to the current business problems within your role. If not, go freelance, get a part-time job, volunteer for a nonprofit just like Kelly did. 2 is I would have her pick her niche. Kelly's dashboards were solid, but if she had chosen a target industry like healthcare and built those kinds of dashboards, that would have stood out more immediately, especially if they were relevant to the business problems that department, that hiring manager are specifically facing. And third and final is I would have her use AI as a force multiplier. If she was applying now, she would have access to AI. She could have used ChatGPT, Gemini to scope out better project ideas, simulate interviews, and reframe her resume bullets, and even troubleshoot SQL logic to make her a better candidate based on the job description and based on what's available online. AI doesn't replace hard work, but it does make it significantly faster and easier for people to do that work. And it does compress the timeline if you know how to use it correctly. And then on top of that, I would have her either take a certification or build out a project that implemented AI specifically, because a bunch of companies have AI initiatives that they need to start implementing and start making progress towards because they don't want to get left behind. So it's a way to stand out. Kelly didn't get lucky. She got tired of waiting and she took control of her story. And if you're ready to skip the burn off phase and build smarter from day one, watch this next video. Here's exactly how to become a data analyst today. Business, relevance, and a faster strategy than most people are using right now. So watch that now.